Oh, they really are. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my God.
You don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons with me, a man recording this very, very close to when you're actually going to see it. You have no idea. As always, of course, where the algorithm ultra is at, drop a like on the video. Really does help out the channel. I wasn't joking about the really, really close. I made a slight boo-boo yesterday in that I forgot to render out that new intro part that we do at the start of the brand new saves. That's a 2.5 hour render that I had to do when I could have been recording videos. It was not ideal, but I wanted to make sure that we got the proper intro on it. So I'm recording this after stream today. So, yesterday did not go well. There's not really any other way about it. I think that today I really need to take more time over our starting 11 to really pick the players that I want to put in the team and hope that we can come up with something better here. We've got back-to-back home games here to just sort of stabilise, because realistically we're not out of the relegation battle yet. We're only 5 points clear despite being 10th. Now, goal difference wise, obviously vastly superior, but we've got to be careful that we don't get dragged in and the board finds somewhere to sack us before we can start getting those coaching badges. I'd like to think that we'll be able to go far enough in to the point where they won't do that, but you just don't know with this lot, do you? They do seem a bit mad. Although, actually, I think the board is probably the most stable thing at the club at the moment. Also, obviously, got a lot of questions yesterday about the hoodie that I was wearing. Some of you already knew, of course, but if you are interested, it's Forward Madison. They're a team based in Wisconsin. They're bloody awesome. But yes, you can get the stuff from there. I would recommend ordering early, because it takes a while to come if you're in the UK. But without any further ado, we're going to jump into today's game against Haladas. And, hope for the best, I suppose. Right, so as you can see, I have now got faces. We've added faces in for the players, so I feel a bit sorry for my man Christoph Grexshow, but this was the face that the game assigned him. He looks like if Aaron Moy was just really, really tired, sadly. That's what's happened to Christoph. I feel like he's more likely to tell me to get off of his lawn than he is to actually score a goal, and given his stats for the season, that's sort of planning out. That said, I think he's still our best bet for a striker at the moment, because, I mean, who else is there? The other players are involved, of course, but they're all elsewhere occupied in the team. So these positions I'm fine with for now. Tolic and Jurisic again in the midfield is fine. Style. It's the defensive stuff where I really did struggle. I made a mistake of playing this man here, and then I sat in the video and went like, oh, he's lost that defensive challenge. Yeah, I mean, he's 5'8" and a 6 jumping reach. Who was I expecting him to out-jump exactly? Peter Dinklage? So that's totally on me. Yelik Balter obviously is a centre-back, but I think we need a different centre-back in there too. Oh, actually, is he back yet? No, Attila Osvat is still not ready to play yet. So that means that obviously the mattress man himself is going to come in. So that's good. That's more sensible. Honestly, that's the only change I actually want to make to the starting 11, but I feel like it's a change that could be a massive difference for us in a game like today where we just need that bit of quality at the back. It's just going to take me a little while to learn who's good and who isn't, and particularly from the bench players more than anything else, and our match fitness is toilet at the moment. Rotation is definitely going to be required for the off-camera games, which is even worse in a way for us right now. But I don't want to change anything about the tactics too soon. I want to really give it the rest of the season. So we've got loads of information to go on if we do want to make any changes. And I feel like we may need to at some point, but I don't think we're quite there just yet. So let's just jump into today's game and hope for the best, eh? They weren't so happy about that one. All we can do here is go out here and try. Now, in theory, they're a better opposition than our last opposition, and we did not look good against them. So I'm worried. I'm not exactly overall with our chances in this game, but I just want to see alone again. It's stuff that mistakes we weren't making before. Just really absent-minded passes to nobody. But hopefully we can kind of clear that up here. We just made so many mistakes in the last game. Just terrible passing. A lack of desire to actually win the ball in key areas as well really did cost us. That's better. Bit of tracking back. What on earth was that? Oh, they really are. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my God. I am entirely convinced that we've just inherited an entire 11 full of Laurel and Hardy. I don't know what the pass was from Dutch there. I don't know what the centre-back and goalkeeper are doing here. And then he's dinked it over him anyway, and we're losing inside a minute. Oh my goodness, some of the goals we're conceding, man. To say we've had a rocky start so far would be an understatement, as a direct free kick goes in and we're now 2 down inside 17 minutes. Oh, okay. The challenge really does grow stronger and stronger every day. God, our 8 free kicks are so overpowered in the lower leagues of any team, it seems. Okay, let's try and get one of our own. Stahl now. Of course R1 is saved. Of course R1 is saved. Good effort, though. At least we found the target. Show me some of that set-piece magic that we used to have back in the day with different teams, and it's an indirect free kick. And a yellow card. We've got a mountain to climb here. Jurisic with the ball in this time, and it's headed onto the crossbar from Mattress. Forgats. Ball in. Go on, well done, Mattress. Here we go. Breakaway chance now, perhaps. Loads of options. Bladia coming forward now with it. He's got men coming forward with him. And he's found one of them, and it's Greshko! And it's an easy finish for Christoph Greshko. And that is the first goal that a player at this team... All he needed was a face. He's a bit unlucky with the face he was given, but I don't know what they were doing defensively here. We are back in the game on the half an hour mark. It's an actually really nice pass to pick him out. Keeper, once again, is bad as ours there. 2-1, and we're back in it. We're not playing that badly, ironically. I think there's plenty of time for us. So far, if you actually look at the stats for this first half, we've not even been that bad. Hopefully we don't completely switch off like we did in the second half last time. I would say we're unlucky, but we're not really. It's just, you know, we gave up a horrendous pair of goals there. And again, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, we are in for it this season, I tell you what. If this is what it's going to be like, look how tiny is he compared to literally everyone around him. It's about to be 3-1, isn't it? It's going to be 3-1. Come on, keeper. Wait, what's the referee doing? Referee's a shapeshifter. Fair one. And he's missed the target. And that is a big let-off for us there. Dutch was terrible on that one. Well, half-time and we trail by a goal. But as you can see, up until the point of the penalty, it was pretty even, in all honesty. And I don't think we've actually been that bad overall. But that doesn't really matter when the scoreline is 2-1 to them. I did the OUS instead of thrashing my arms this time. I wanted to try to be a bit nicer to the players. Maybe they didn't want that so much. Well, it's been very similar, actually. One shot so far in the second. Oh, go on. Ball through. But it's too deep. Can he pull it back across, though? Pulls it back across and Tonic! And it's well saved by the goalkeeper. Incredibly, we've managed to not score there. I mean, it looks like it's going to take us a little while to settle in here because it looks like it is going to be 2 defeats out of 2 unless there's a late goal here. Maybe Dutch can get on the end of it. Pop a ball into the box for someone. We've got plenty of options in there. Please do something. So many players in the box. Please cross it. Okay, that's a decision. Oh, and that is also a decision. It's going to take us a while to settle, I sense. But we're being thrown right into the deep end here, but that's what you have to expect, unfortunately. And once again, we look like we are going to lose our second game in a row as of the start of this club job. And, I mean, second half was pretty dead for both sides, really. And the penalty, obviously, they could have been more in front. I still don't think we were even that bad, but you need to start turning these into points, to be honest, and hopefully we can do that. But both fullbacks, horrible days from both of those two. It's interesting, actually, how bad they've been. Backy makes sense because he's not a fullback, but Dutch really has no excuse for that, and nobody really outperformed well other than Mattress and, of course, Christoph through the middle. Right then, we're back. This has been a tempestuous period. It's something I'm going to be saying a lot this season, I sense. But we started off at home against Siofuk, and after 30 minutes, the ball was put in by Bladia to the back post, and Stahl, on the volley, makes it 1-0 to Szeged, and that was the final score. We actually won one. And to be fair, I made a couple of changes, not to the actual tactics, but just to the lineups in this game. So I took out Backy as the sort of ersatz right back and brought in Matic Pipush, who isn't the best right back, but he's at least a right back, and put Backy into the middle. And you can see that our back four in this game was really our shining light. Now, obviously, we scored the goal with Stahl, but it was just getting in front. I feel like we could score goals. As we then travelled away to 5th place Gyuri, not really expecting a great deal from this one, but a good start from us here was followed up by this thunderbolt from Tolic to give us the lead on 22 minutes away at 5th place. And I was getting quite excited about that. And then we conceded this absolute cluster of a goal. Look at this, just all over the shop here. Eventually hits the post, hits the goalkeeper, hits the post. He's all over the place, throws it into the back of his own net, essentially. And that ends up being 1-1. But again, these guys are 5th. Like, if it wasn't for that, we'd probably win this game. Now, we did have some suspensions for this game, which meant that the defence did not look quite as stable as you'd have seen. But honestly, I think we were still probably the better side on the night and possibly could have got away with another victory were it not for the slight defensive frailties in there. And now we still need to work on going forward and getting goals, as we haven't really scored more than... We've not scored more than once yet. However, it's definitely positive signs, I suppose. And that leaves us 12th in the league. We are now 5 points above the drop zone and have a game in hand now, as there was a midweek match that we didn't play. So we could potentially move up to 8 points clear of the drop and start to look much more like a team. Like, we win our game in hand and we could go up as high as 8th. And we're actually playing against 8th place today in the live comp. So I think that we've sort of got a bit of a wrestle of control over it now, with 4 points from the last couple of games, just starting to see something emerging. However, that could have been completely derailed by 2 players. Now, as you know, a lot of players fancy leaving the club because we were relegated and they want to leave and basically had been promised that. Now, 2 of them, the 2 double barrel boys I mentioned in the previous episode, I was like, you know what, screw it, we'll get rid of you. If you really want to go, you can go. I offered them out 4 times each time reducing the amount of money that was offered to the point where it was getting ridiculous, and it was actually like, I think it was lower than their release clause on one of them, and his release clause was like 50k, to give you an idea, and he's worth way more than that. And then, yeah, nobody put a bid in for them because obviously, you know, other teams have to want them as well. But then the moment that the transfer window finished, they both came to me and said, nope, you've broken your promises to let us go. And I'm like, yeah, let you go. I could release you if you want, but I bet you wouldn't go for that, would you mug? So, yeah, they've upset the massive squad balance again. But I do really hate being put in a position where you have literally no option. Like, I was offering them out constantly. They were transfer listed and just nothing. But there you go. It is what it is. So Jelic Balta didn't actually even play the last game, so he's now going to come back in. I still don't know if Attila Horvath is actually ready to start just yet. He possibly could. I think he's probably more of a next game type of player to have in here. And Mattress is on the bench. So we'll bring Horvath on the bench, though, see if we can get him in as well. Now, I have also done a little bit of business as well in bringing in Vladislav Pohoroli on loan from Alexandria, just because I had no idea what he was even going to look like. I just saw that he had a couple of good attributes and was worth a lot of money and thought, you know what, we could do with another striker just in case Greksho doesn't work, and he has decent finishing and composure in comparison and a bit more height to potentially play that role more similarly to how we've seen it in the past, but he does lack the teamwork and work rate to play the pressing forward, so a bit of a risk on that one. The other new signing is Mirko Mutavcic, who's come in on a free transfer. He was at Maribor at one point. Solid passing. He's a solid-ish midfielder, perhaps not as good as he looked in that, but I have got a right back on trial, and he is Hungarian too, that could be a nice option for us to bring in. I'm really trying to focus on Hungarian players because of the rules, but there's not a lot of free transfer Hungarians available yet. During the summer, though, I expect there will be. I also went after Regan Booty on a potential to sign him at the end of the season. Annoyingly, he says that we don't have the financial clout to meet his contract demands, and I'm like, mate, we can pay you way more than Ermis did, so I actually don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, so he better not sign for someone else, because I don't think he's going to get another contract at Ermis, but he's on loan at Barrow, by the way. I don't think I actually mentioned this in the video. I've mentioned it on stream a few times. Booty is on loan at Barrow at the moment from Ermis, and Barrow are paying like a quarter of his wages. You're on like, what, just under $2,000 at Ermis. We can pay that if you need to. And the players in general seem to have less of a concern about our tactical setup now, apart from the goalkeeper, of course. You know what? Screw it. Okay, wow, okay. Nice. Well done, assistant. You did a thing. Okay, so we've actually, picked up 4 points from our last 2 games. I feel like we've got the quality here, potentially, to maybe gain more points. I don't know. It will really heavily depend on the defence, I think, at the moment. Until we can sort ourselves out a proper forward line in the way that I want, I think we're really going to be heavily reliant for the rest of this season on the defenders keeping the score lines down while we try to get some 1-0s and 0-0s and 1-1s and games like that, just to see us through and be cushy, hopefully. So that's a good sign, because I feel like we can correct that, and the cohesion will hopefully allow that to improve as well, although that kind of passing is not what you want to see from Tolic there. That's a good ball for Jurisic, though. Great first touch, and he's gone for goal, and he might get he couldn't quite get the rebound, but good football, and Jurisic making a great run. Like I said in the previous video, this is going to be the biggest overhaul I think I've ever done at any team ever, potentially, as Greksho's through, and it's a good effort again from Greksho. It's been a pretty cagey game. We're keeping them pretty quiet as well. If we had to take another draw, it's away from home, I'd probably settle for that, and what on earth. Barnatoth there, Iker take the lead, and he's a very tall man. It looks like he's pretty much going to be able to out-jump everybody in our defence at the moment, and it's so close to the keeper, though. I feel like the keeper probably could come for that, and he just doesn't. Toff's really just outdone us in the air. Chance for a breakaway, perhaps. Yes, lovely stuff. Jurisic needs that run for him, though. He's just got no support into the right positions, and he makes the right choice going back to P-push, but that is not a good pass. And if anything, it might end up costing us now, because there's space in behind for Torgelli, and it's a great first touch, and it's a great finish from Andre Torgelli, and it's now 2-0 to Iker. Yeah, once again, just poor passing and mistakes has cost us. The sort of things that had sort of disappeared in the last couple of games, other than the goal, but it's just a really aimless ball into the channel. Not even into the channel. And then the defender just can't keep up with Torgelli. And once he gets in front of him, it's curtains at that point. It's a very different type of team that we're playing against this time, but this is not what I was really hoping for from today's game. I thought we were looking a bit better, and we kind of were, but we could have easily beaten the 5th place side here, but still plenty of time, I suppose. Jurisic now, again, making a great run. This is what I like to see. That's Regan Booty-esque. And ball through, and it's cleared, and cleared, and cleared. I don't know how it didn't give us any XG for that, considering we had 2 shots in there, apparently. I don't know. We had 2 shots, but it didn't seem to credit either of them. But okay, sure. Not great. Where are all our team? Right, 1, there we go. But then we'll just stand up. No! Okay, that's better, more aggressive. Bladia. And just a terrible pass once again. And Toth can try to slide him in for a 3rd time here. Right, that's better. Hold them up. Oh dear. Wow. I mean, it is embarrassing, some of our passing today. The passing is... we're just giving them the ball at times now. And they're... I mean, I thought we'd actually cleared the danger somewhat when we made this sort of hold the play up there. But he just runs in behind, simple ball through, and it's now 3-0, and we are done. Every shot on target they've had has scored. And that's been one of the issues with this team, it seems, that we don't give up a lot of... oh, hang on, Kovacevic. Come on, pull it back for someone. And Bladia! Wide. Show a bit of desire. Win that header. There we go. Breakaway chance for us now. No, let's go back to the goalkeeper instead. Okay, excellent. It's just so... the decision-making has been woeful at times lately. And that's been part of the issue, really. Just, right, okay, get across to it. Wow, this guy is ridiculous. That's every shot on target they've scored. Where do we get players that can do that? Defenders have been all over the place, obviously, but wow. I mean, yeah, is that every shot? Yeah, every shot on target has been a goal. Slightly better from us. They've got so many players back, though. It's going to be very difficult for us to win any headers here. Yes, but it's going to get another chance now with Osvat over on the right. Oh, goes back short for Stahl. Receives it once again. Ball whipped through, and it's going to come back out to Stahl, actually, with the shot again. Well, I mean, that has certainly not been our finest hour. 4-0 does feel a bit stretched, but nevertheless, that happens sometimes. Teams just take their chances, and they were just ruthless in front of goal for the first half of that game, and it is 4-0 to Ica. Boy, they were just very... Torgelli was just unplayable in that game. And so was Barna Toth as well, in fairness. But really, up until that point, actually, ironically, we were looking okay, but the defence just fell apart again, particularly on this right-hand side with P-Push this time, hilariously. Goalkeeper had an absolute mare as well, but then... the moment that those guys brought that meeting and destroyed the club morale, we just seem to have lost it. I'm not saying that's the reason for the defeat. The reason for the defeat is we conceded 4 times. So, we actually fall to 17th with that, albeit games in hand, or game in hand, that could see us hilariously climb up as high as 9th. Wow, this league is so unbelievably tight. But, bad run of games, and things could turn sour very, very fast. Feels like the moment we were starting to turn a corner, the players that were causing trouble just thought, right, now's our chance to really screw this one up for them. So, next episode, we'll come back against 16th. I mean, we've not got a lot of time in between to try and sort something out, but honestly, it's just a case of... we looked good in those games, but that one was just terrible. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, it's a tough start here. Drop a like on the video, that'd be...